Hi everybody, we're going to talk about the Instant Pot Max today. It's pretty exciting stuff. This bad boy showed up on our doorstep a few weeks ago, and of course I have been insanely busy at work, and it's been taunting me from the table in the kitchen ever since then. Use me, love me, explore what I can do. So we finally got this beauty out of the box, and we've been dating, you know, casually at first, but things are starting to heat up. Instant Pot Max. I didn't realize, I don't know if you saw our unboxing on Facebook, but this bad boy is a pressure canner as well. It's the only electric pressure canner on the market. So if you're an Instant Pot lover and also a pressure canner, this is a match made in heaven. So again, I haven't had a ton of time to invest in seriously dating this machine. You can tell I haven't used it a whole lot because it's still pretty clean. I'm a bit of a catastrophe in the kitchen, but it is a pressure cooker as well as all the preset features and a pressure canner. I was a little concerned at first, but after reading through the manual, I discovered that at the max pressure it is 15 psi, which means that you can not only make your broth in here, you can pressure can it so that it is shelf stable and you are ready for the zombie apocalypse. So you just start up. We do have a couple other models of Instant Pots as well, and I really enjoyed the Instant Pot Ultra. It's hard to convert from one to the other, being that this one is a touch screen and that one is not. So I will stand there and be frustrated touching the screen on the Ultra and wonder why it's not working. But aside from those minor hiccups, it's a seamless pressure cooker. So if you're familiar with Instant Pots and how they work, and you're part of the Instant Pot cult, or dedicated fan club, then this is a good fit. I would not necessarily recommend this machine to somebody coming out cold that has never used an Instant Pot before. It is a little more complicated in terms of touching the button and using it than the Ultra is.
It's a little more advanced to me.
It is a little more advanced, yeah.
Like you almost need to know what the functions are before.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to do a little bit of investigating, some reading, and be comfortable with things. If you're used to how an Instant Pot works, then this is just kind of like an upgrade. The max setting, we made this mistake a few days ago. We made bone broth and used the max setting instead of the high, and it ended up being a little bit scorched. The low is 6.5 psi, the high would be 12.3 psi, and the max is 15 psi. And most, all except for this one, electric pressure cookers do not have the capability and the high enough pressure to can in them, to pressure can. I have made broth in it, and I've also pressure cooked broth. Now, I love that you can pressure can, and a batch of broth is usually, 8 to 12 cups. So you have a couple cups, and you can put 4 pints in this machine. So if you're doing a ton of canning, you're doing like a side of cow and making broth out of the bones, or you're making gallons and gallons of spaghetti sauce, this is not the ideal situation. But if you're looking to start pressure canning or are doing small batches, or there's only 1 or 2 of you, this is ideal. It heats up much quicker. Being small batch, it's handy. You can also sterilize your jars in here, which was pretty handy. In the Ultra, there is a sterilize preset. In the Max, you just have to put it on low for 10 minutes, and that's going to give you give you what you need. When you're canning, you use the sterilization feature, and then the water inside the Instant Pot is warm, and it takes less time to come to pressure to do the canning. It always has the time on it, which is fabulous. You can touchscreen adjust all sorts of things. So something is on here. You can put a delay on it. You can change the way it vents. You can keep warm or turn off the keep warm. The pressure is 3 different settings: low, high, and max. You can also adjust the temperature. You can turn on and off the sound, which is handy. And then it also will help you make adjustments for elevation, which is a good idea when you're pressure canning. There are presets as well. This machine, the Ultra, does sous vide as well as the Max. This has got a little bit different technology in moving, how it moves the moisture and circulates the water inside. You still have the yogurt function, soup broth slow cook, saute as well. So there's actually quite a lot you can do with this machine. Like I said, it is like an Instant Pot upgrade. So you'll see a difference in the lid on our pressure cooker Max. So instead of the toggle where you actually will release the pressure yourself, it is now controlled through the front of the machine. So no longer is scalding or burning as you release the pressure an issue or a risk, because I mean, you have no reason to put your hand up there. So that's helpful.
The Ultra.
Yeah, and you can see the Ultra's quite dirty.
Yeah.
It's well used and well loved.
So with the old ones where you would actually do the pushing to release, this one you control the release via
down here on the
screen.
bottom. I can show you the different settings. So if you go to pressure cooking, you can vent either a natural pressure release, which is this circle with an X through it. You can do intermittent, so like a quick pressure release. And it's interesting, when it finishes the cycle, it just like bursts. Or you can go with an immediate pressure release, where it just immediately as it's done releases.
Just the quick release that we're all used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that venting one, that was something that we were curious about. That is designed for things that are maybe too delicate for a natural pressure release, but something that is maybe under pressure and that would,
it would be
like
spoiled.
a sauce or something that might like spray or whatever if you do a quick release. So
Absolutely.
this would be like an in-between kind of thing.
So the pulse method of venting releases incremental bursts of steam at precisely programmed intervals.
When you're not expecting it, then it can be a little surprising, because it's a different pattern of release. Obviously, it's a psst, psst, kind of on that sort of frequency.
I love that he's giving you a demonstration, but what I'm going to do is start the machine, and then we'll both be surprised when it happens. It's also nice to have the quick release programmed for things that would spoil. If, like, for example, steaming broccoli. It's funny that you put in steamed broccoli for 0 minutes in a quick release and it's perfect. And if you cook it for 1 minute, or you don't get there in time to quick release it, it is soggy and mushy. So this is fantastic. This saves your broccoli, let me tell you. I haven't had an opportunity to use the yogurt function yet, or the sous vide. We do have the sous vide wand that Instant Pot makes. I'm quite a fan of sous viding things. I'm impressed that you can have a pressure canner on your counter. I mean, how great is that? You have some leftover spaghetti and no room in your freezer, some spaghetti sauce. You can just throw it in a jar and fill it up with water, and you are good to go. As long as there's no cheese in there. I mean, it's pretty fantastic. I love that you can turn off the sound. because late night or early morning cooking, and now you don't have to disturb everybody in the house with the telltale beeping. It's also good if you have pets, because I know the telltale beeping in more than one household has resulted in a whole flock of pets standing there waiting for whatever nummy treat you have just made. This way you can covertly eat in silence. You can at any time change the settings as well. You just touch the button. Like if I had decided that I now wanted to have it keep warm, I had to run out. All I have to do is touch it. And
I think you actually have to cancel it and then change it.
You don't.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
No. You can toggle at any time throughout.
Okay. Cool.
So if you're doing intermittent pressure release, and then you decide, oh, you know what, maybe I just want to get it open and get a good look at it, then you just have to toggle the venting to the immediate pressure release, and it will release right away. So it has now come to pressure. It's at 98 degrees, and it's still on. Now it sort of adjusts the pressure in there, so it's a more precise cook.
Yeah, usually as it comes to pressure, then it'll do this little release.
Yeah. So it kind of is finding the perfect balance between the pressure in the pot and the temperature. Feels like it might rain out here. This is the intermittent pressure release. So it has gone for its 1 minute, and it's 119 degrees, and it will perfectly time the venting. How was Raj's interpretation? Accurate? You don't really know when it's going to happen. It's exciting. See? And there it is. And then I decide, you know what, I'm in a bit of a rush. I want to wrap up this video. I can just switch the venting. There's a helicopter. The helicopter wanted to see the venting too. Overall, I think it's a win.
Yeah, you like so the canning experience you did find was good?
Yeah, it was good. It was quick. It was quicker than, grabbing my gigantic canner out. And if you're just using small batches, yeah, then it's totally fine. I mean, if you're canning pounds and pounds of salmon, it's not the ideal situation. It's going to be an all day and all night process.
But it was easy.
But yeah. 4 pints and fairly fail safe. So if you don't have a lot of freezer space, or you don't have a freezer, this is a great way to save broth and sauces and things like that.
I do have one complaint, I would say, about it, which I think will be easily remedied. The length of the cord, I find, is pretty short on this model, at least the one we've got. And because you can set it to do the pressure release on its own, if you just have it under the counter, like typically with the other models, when the timer goes off, then I'll adjust the angle at which it's sitting when I do the pressure release. Because you're not there now to do it necessarily, if you program it to natural or to quick pressure release, then you might be releasing steam straight at your countertop or at your cabinets or whatever. And like I said, the cord's not that long, so you didn't have as much room to adjust with that.
Absolutely.
At the same time, the way that the top is designed with that plastic cover, it does catch a lot of the direct blast that normally would have been there. And the other thing around that same issue is that you see how there's all the condensation there. Like you do get a lot more of that condensation dripping, and there's not really like a trough or a place for that to catch. So it's just going to drip over the top of the lid, and then get caught in the catch on the back there, which is why you've got like that spit trap kind of thing in the back. But that's more just kind of my own issue with it being like looking clean and like I know it's just water.
Right.
It could potentially be.
And it isn't something that I would consider.
Yeah. So anyway, but that was just my own kind of feeling about that.
Yeah, it would be nice if it had a little longer cord, because you can't always have its own dedicated home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much my only complaint about it. Yeah.
is a longer cord. Who doesn't want a longer cord?
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. Sure. Longer chain, whatever works. Yeah, I think it's a win. I really like this. If you're doing small batch canning, or if there's only a couple people in your household, or you're a single household, I mean, leftovers, some people love them, some people hate them. This is a great way to preserve them.
I think it's pretty too.
It is pretty. It's changed the shape a little bit. It's kind of angled backwards as compared to other models that we've had.
Just that front face kind of angles out.
Yeah. And I really do like the touch screen. It's hard to go to the Ultra after touching the Max. It just screams touch me. I think we're going to continue to see each other. Yeah. I think it's the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Yeah, okay, I'll stop wasting time. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to talk today about the Instant Pot Max. Pretty exciting. We
want to start that over again.
Pretty exciting. You can't tell by my face or my voice, but it's pretty exciting.
All right, let's start that again.
Okay.